All right, and we're recording. Welcome back, Melissa.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going okay. I see your Melissa Dash Lizard Kitty now. I heard earlier some kind of controversy about this.
Yeah, so when Dan made A Squad sweatshirts, he told me that he was putting TFM underscore name. And I was like, oh, so you're doing like TFM Manfish, TFM Lizard Kitty. And he's like, no, TFM Melissa, TFM Ben.
So, what is a lizard kitty?
It's a whole thing. It's in one of
Okay,
the other videos. Story
okay,
for another time after
Sound,
DLC.
sounds good. Anyway, so it's that time of the month again, and by that time of the month, I mean it's time to look at the events, right?
Yes.
There's no other connotation that those words could have. So we're a little late on this one.
Good one.
You reminded me a couple days ago. I was like, oh crap, I'm bad at my job.
I was so caught up in the midst of set champs that it didn't even cross my mind that there was more after set champs because my head's just been so focused on, okay, 3 weeks of set champs, Southside Gaming, and that's it.
Yes, Southside Gaming, as people might be able to see behind me, has been on our minds a ton, and we are going to get to them. I also had no idea that today's like the end of the month. I thought we're like just starting the halfway point. Like there's so much gaming to be had.
I know.
But at least we'll have a fast one today because people don't want to compete with set champs. So what do we got?
So the first thing we wanted to touch on is the first Oceana DLC is this upcoming weekend. We have DLC Melbourne in Australia. Should be a really cool event. It's on Saturday and Sunday, so February 1st and 2nd. I actually don't know if it's being casted or who is casting. I haven't seen anything. I'm hopeful that it will be, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I haven't gotten 3 emails announcing an announcement, so I have no idea. But hopefully it is being casted because there's some big names going. So it'll be nice to see them.
For any US or European people going, we wish you the best of luck. Hopeful for everyone to come home with what they're hoping for.
Absolutely. And then what do we got?
Just wanted to reiterate what we were saying. Set champs have started. We've gotten through the first 2 weeks. We've got 2 more weekends of set champs coming up. If you don't know what set champs are going on in your area, we will link the Google Calendar / Google Maps thing that has information. It does not include all set champs, but it at least has some. So if you're looking for it, we'll pop that in the video as well.
Yeah, and let me put a challenge out there to anyone who already has their playmat to just play some off-the-wall crazy deck and send it our way if you can win a scar or a playmat. Maybe Dan can make a video of just the coolest set champs decks, and we can highlight some of the community.
The next thing we wanted to mention, like we were just talking about, big weekend, February 8th and 9th. At Southside Gaming in Margate, Florida. That's in the Miami area, South Florida. They're running a 10K on Saturday, and then there is a 2K, I think, or 1K?
5K.
5K. Okay, it changed
again. they go big or go home.
Yeah, it's Southside Gaming is a really great crew. We're really excited. Myself, Dick, Ben, and maybe Colby are playing, and Dan's going to be there all weekend casting. So TFM's really excited to be partnering with Southside to be there. We know there's a ton of people in the Florida area that are going, a ton of people traveling down for it. Should be a really great weekend. They've always had capped events, high turnouts, so the 10K is nothing to dawdle on.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, if we're not going to have DLCs, I'm glad someone is picking up the ball and just absolutely running with it. And Southside Gaming is like looking to be the premier place to play outside of official Ravensburger events.
So they're doing, as I just mentioned, the 10K on Saturday. On Sunday, they're doing a second chance 5K. You can see that kind of cool invited to the ball art in the background as like we're inviting you to keep playing. I believe as of us recording this on Monday, the 5K, it does still have space open. If you're local to the Florida area and looking for something to do on Sunday, definitely check it out. We'll put the melee in the description of the video when it posts, but would love to see people there. Like Dick said, we're looking for competitive events to play at. Dan's going to be casting, which is awesome, but just having more events to go to when we don't know what's next with DLCs is great. And the Southside gaming crew has been nothing but awesome with promoting events, with hosting events, and making everyone feel welcome.
Yeah, I am shocked this is not capped yet, especially in Florida. I mean, like I used to spend so much time in Florida, and I would go to 1Ks that the stores were just absolutely packed at. I went to a pre-release with 60 players one time. So like I'm shocked it's not full. Apparently there is some kind of sporting event going on. Never heard of it
It's the
myself.
Super Bowl. Get your act together.
All right, it's the World Series of hockey is happening. There's some flying thing that's definitely going to lose. That's
The birds are
apparently
losing,
doing
right?
great. I mean, that's what I keep hearing. I don't know.
I've been told that
But,
if TFM isn't wearing green, we're going to be kicked out of the Airbnb. So,
well, good
break your green.
good thing I'm covered here.
Good thing my hood is green.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Anyway, really excited for that. The same weekend that's going on, it is the last weekend of Set Champs at Grapes, or there is a Grapes of Villainy Lorcana 1.5K going on. I believe the store that's running this is called Grapes Games. And Rules of Villainy partners with them, does live casting of all their events. Really cool prizing going on. Should be a great podcast or a great event to also watch and stream. So anyone who wants to watch Southside Gaming, you have that going on. You also have Grape Games 1.5K going on the same day as well.
Yeah, and it's advertised as 1.5K. They also have a list of prizing, so it's not cash. It's they're estimating 1.5K in prizes. I haven't done the math or anything, but this looks incredible. Just looking at the list of prizes, I'm sure it's what they're advertised. Rules of Villainy, if you want some C tier casters, you can listen to them all day. If you're not going to do the right thing and tune into Southside Gaming, Rules of Villainy knows what's up.
The next thing we have going on is at the Gilded Dragon. It is their Azurite Sea Set Champs, and it is also a 2-case event in prizing. So we wanted to highlight this. Dick, I believe this is semi-local to your area, so I think you know a bit more about it. So I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, so spoiler, this kind of doesn't follow the rules that we have set, right? But if someone's going to line my pockets, they're going to get a shout out. All right. So anytime anyone wants to slip me a Benjamin, you're going to make a video I'm in. That's for sure. But all joking aside, so this is local to me. This is one of my local game stores. This is one of my favorite game stores to go to. I don't know how the owner even has time to run these events. He's a full-time pastor. He is a full-time general manager down at the Piggly Wiggly. And the only reason I really wanted to highlight this is because it is a 2K tournament. I believe it's going to be a 2K tournament, but it does have the caveat of it needs to have a certain number of players, which it's basically already at, and it has no competition that day. So I am sure it's going to hit that. If they're one man short, I'll PayPal them from Florida. But I just want to say stores need to kind of just person up and come to the table and be like, you know what? These prizes are absolutely guaranteed. Because we had another store in the area recently and they said, yeah, if we get this many people, it's going to be a 4K tournament. 20 or 30 people didn't go because they're like, it's never going to happen. And they ended up hitting it. And they would have actually increased it past 4Ks if more people would have went. So I just wanted to say to all the stores, not just my local game stores, take the risk. The worst you're going to lose in this, if in a 2K tournament, is somewhere around $800. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't get the people that you need, which, move on with life. So I'm going to get off my high horse now.
I mean, the other thing to add to that too is half the reason that, like we've talked about this before, and I know you did in the videos about setting up a store, half the reason these events are run, not set championships, but normal like case tournaments, is just to get foot traffic into the store. So maybe you don't hit it with just your entry fee, But I mean, people are going to buy singles. If they're singles, they're going to buy sealed products. Like I was at a set championship yesterday, and top 4 each got a box, and then 5 through 8 got a Stitch gift set, the Azurite Sea gift set, which was awesome. But on top of that, like at the end of the day, I went through the case and I got a bunch of singles that I needed and just a bunch of random stuff because I wanted to support the store. So the foot traffic yields the next thing, which puts the money back into the store. So it's great to see when they honor what they say, no matter what the turnout is.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. And then this one, they didn't have a cool fancy graphic. So
they didn't. So I took their logo through the decades in Frankfort, Kentucky, I believe.
I think so.
A 2-case event being held on February 9th at 1 p.m. local time. Should be really cool. I believe there's a similar where it's a set champ event that's also a 2-case.
Yes, and it looked like it was guaranteed.
It did look like that when I was looking at the melee. It looks like they have 6 players registered as of now. And it says, along with Scarmat and the promos for top finishers, we're making this event win 2-case event, additional prizing paid out to top 8. $35 entry. So that's that's pretty good deal. I mean, I get it. Some people are there just to have fun. Some people don't care about it. But if you're semi-competitive and you say, hey, I think I can top 8, like get the extra EV on it. Have fun with it.
Yeah, and my bad to Dan for not removing that and putting us on the big screen during the Gilded. I didn't think I was going to go on that much of a tangent. But I am here, and huge props to these stores that are providing great prize support in addition to the scars and playmats, because some stores are out here just collecting $25 and or trying to collect $40 and giving back nothing.
Shout out to my local Double Looks as well in Pennsylvania. For every 4 people at the Set Champs tournament, they put a box into the pot and split it amongst top 8. So that was awesome. I mean, it was all extra, but it was really cool.
In my opinion, if you're at a $25 entry fee, a box per 4 people is like right on par of making yourself happy, being able to pay the bills, and making the customer happy.
I believe theirs was 30, if I remember correctly, but even so,
okay.
Support the store. I'm happy to support the store when they give back like that.
Yeah. What I should say is like less than MSRP.
Yeah.
That like they're giving up a little and they're also saying thank you. So
exactly. Cool. The next one we wanted to mention, Charlie's Collectibles. You've probably heard us talk about them before. We played at their events. Every month they run at least a 1K. The monthly 1K for February is on February 16th. So if you're local to the Atlanta area, definitely check them out. Charlie's runs a really smooth tournament, and it's also just a really cool store because they kind of have like that flea market setup in the front with singles, with knickknacks, with all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, those cars that I bought that I've talked about before, I must have made $600 so far. And yeah, in addition to like all the ones that my kids got to keep. So I absolutely love this store. It's great business.
The next event we wanted to highlight is Top Deck Keep in Riverside, California. They are running a DLC promo extravaganza, as they're calling it, at the end of the month on Saturday, the 22nd. As you can kind of see on here, they are quoting prizing with 30 player, 50 player, 70 player. The SoCal area is notorious for hitting between 30 and 60 people on a given weekend. So that is why they kind of, I think, scaled it for 3 different sizes there. But even with just the 30, you can see that 30 players. First is getting a Let It Go foil. Second, the Rapunzel and Cindy's. I assume those are the non-foils. And then if they hit 50 people, first is getting a foil Cinderella. So like the prizing scales up. Really great store. I've heard nothing but good things in the past about the events that they've run and the prizing that they pay out.
Yeah, completely random. I just got a package from them and everything was perfect.
Nice.
So that was awesome. Sometimes it's a rarity when I'm out here buying like 130 Forbidden Mountains at once, and they actually have all the cards and they ship them.
Nice. The next thing we wanted to highlight was a Pack Rush event. Dick, I think you know a little bit more about this, the Valentine's Pack Rush.
Yes. So, well, And by a little more, you mean a little more
Yes,
because
a teeny little bit more.
yes, I just found out about this yesterday, and I think stores just found out about it this past weekend in the middle of set champs time. So there's not a lot of like concrete information. I haven't seen like the physical email, but one thing that we do want to go over with this is one, it's called the Valentine's Pack Rush event, but it doesn't appear it has to be on Valentine's Day. We saw it as early as the 7th and on all kinds of random days. So that's good because when I first heard about it, I'm like, well, I'm out, married with 2 kids. I take my daughters out for Valentine's Day every Valentine's.
Yep.
So and then we went to go over the Pack Rush rules. So this is pretty tiny for me. Do you want to try to read this, or you want me to try to get through it?
I'll let you start, and then I can chime in.
All right. If I mess anything up, you can just laugh at me, make fun of me, and then correct me.
Sounds
So each player needs 2 unopened Disney Lorcana booster packs. So we're already going to chime in that I saw an event on Melee that said each player would be getting their choice of 1 booster pack. And I'm assuming that none of this is malicious. I'm assuming that like a lot of people just haven't been to DLCs, and this has been a huge thing at DLCs, not so much at the store level. So again, we're just like trying to educate the people that haven't been to DLCs or have never played this. And I did not know half of these rules before starting, and I've been to all the DLCs. So I am not going to be upset for if anyone messes any of this stuff up. So this one says pick from your favorite sets. I believe it's only going to be set 3 and 4 that's being sent to the stores.
Ooh, so we get Inklands and Ursula's Return. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I wonder if you can pick or if it's going to be one of each. I would think one of each.
I'd rather it be one of each, especially like I assume the idea with doing a event like this is to attract new players or maybe like cross kind of sell from Pokemon base or Magic base. So I'd hope that you kind of get to show a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Determine the first player. Let's
Using
see.
any method. That's
Yeah. Okay. So start a normal game. Open your packs and then don't look at the cards in your pack. So I think they've been letting people look at the foil slot at least.
When I went to D23 in California back in August, and one of the nights in like the hotel next to the convention center, we were doing Pack Rush with Steve Warner, Shane, Ryan, like the developers, or a bunch of people there. And when Shane was giving me, that was the first time I played Pack Rush. And when Shane gave me my packs, he said, "Don't look at them, only touch the last card and check if it's enchanted." He said, "If it's not shiny like an enchanted, don't look at it."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's way more fun to have no idea what's happening, right? Or like what's going to happen. Let's see. But yeah, if you're a store like whatever, let them see if it's enchanted before they start riffle shuffling with no sleeves. So shuffle it all together, taking care not to look at any of them. Set your lore tracker to 0. Draw 5 cards.
The other thing to note real quick is make sure
Yeah.
you pull the puzzle card out or like the marketing card. Some of them
Yes.
are like the puzzle, some of them are those little maps. You're actually going to use those toward your ink. So you put them aside, you don't shuffle them in.
Absolutely. So I had no idea you only drew 5 cards. That was interesting to me, but it makes sense because you've basically skipped your first 2 turns to ink.
Right.
Let's see.
So you draw your 5 cards. You would do a standard alter / mulligan, just like you would in kind of a normal game. And then from there, you get to set your puzzle cards as your first 2 ink. So you get 2 ink when the game starts. And then you kind of just play a game of Lorcana for the most part from there. I think the most notable difference is instead of getting to 20 lore in Pack Rush, we played to 15.
Yeah, which I also had no idea before reading this. That was interesting, but it makes sense because Rush is in the name. Yeah, and then I also did not know this, and I answered this incorrectly when James asked me yesterday. If you need to draw and you can't draw, you shuffle your discard pile and make it your deck. as if you were playing a deck building game. Whereas I've only played this in Magic. We can kick off this a little bit. I only played this before in Magic, where they would have these events periodically. I wouldn't say annually when I played, but every once in a while, where they would send a bunch of free boxes to the stores and they would have the same exact event, except you would shuffle in, you can't just ink anything. So you'd shuffle in 3 of each land. Can't look. If you ran out of cards, though, you lost. So I was just like, yeah, it must be the same thing. I mean, we're playing with princesses. This is vicious. You lose, right?
You never lose.
Yeah, you just get ready to play again.
It ruins the Disney magic. So this keeps the magic going if you get to shuffle it back in.
Yes.
It kind of makes sense though, because if you think about it, you have 2 packs, so you're pulling 24 cards, right?
Yep. And then, but you only start with 5.
But you start with 5, and
that's a lot of turns.
It is, but like you might not. Your cards could maybe not have 1 and 2 drops. You might only have a 9-drop Triton or something crazy.
Yeah, I feel like Finders Keepers is just the absolute bomb. Like you just keep all the bad cards in your hand, or you ink all the bad cards, right? And then you get your deck down so small that you're only drawing your best 3 cards every single turn.
That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, the different strategies there can be. I would have loved if this was some kind of 2-person teams event, since it's has this Valentine's theme around it.
I wonder if the idea is like you're supposed to go on a date and play against somebody, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're supposed to go on a date and you go out there and you play against your significant other, and you either destroy them and get destroyed and you have an awkward dinner afterwards.
Yes. Fact of life. Been there more than I want to. Sometimes I pair teammates and friends in DLCs.
Oh gosh. So let's see. And then I just wanted to highlight, this was a store, I had seen it because it's kind of close to me. We left out the name of the store because we're not trying to shame anyone. We know that this is like brand new to so many people, and almost everything they have written on here is correct. But they did say what you get in the packs is what you play with. If there is a card you'd rather not play with, you may remove it, but not replace or proxy it, which makes sense if you open Enchanted, right? The problem is going to be, so this is supposed to be a fun, free tournament. That's another thing. If your store is charging an entry fee and they're not doing some kind of additional pricing, like that store had pack per round win, and it was 3 rounds. So that's like perfect. They're basically you're getting 2 free packs and then selling you the packs for less than MSRP in the pricing. Absolutely love it. Most stores I've seen had an entry fee had additional pricing. So if your store has an entry fee and there's no additional pricing, I'm gonna call shenanigans on that one. You can send that store my way, and they can be in one of my videos.
That was my turn over here.
Yeah, another problem is gonna be when your store all of a sudden has 2 extra booster boxes on the counter for sale, and they don't run one of these events. All right, that's gonna be another one that you can just send my way. But the one rule that I highlighted from that store, if you are actually playing for something and you have people who are super sweaty, it is an exploitable rule. If you let them just look through the cards and take out any that they don't want to play with, they're just going to keep the 10 best cards and redraw the best cards every single turn.
So. I would hope that if a store was going to put a restriction on it, they should cap it at, say, 2. Like, yes. Maybe you get lucky and you pull a legendary in each of your packs, or you get one of those random packs that has a double legendary and you say, I don't want to play with this legendary because it's actually worth something and I don't want to bend it and I don't have a card or something. Like, I can understand that. It's the same idea as the Enchanted.
Yep. And then at the end of the day, if they're expecting to pull something expensive, they could just go to heavy play before they even hit the tournament and use code TFM10 for 10% off. Exactly. But anyway, any final thoughts from you, Miss Kitty?
No, I'm excited for Southside. I'm excited to play in Sat Champs. I myself have gone 3 for 3 in terms of getting scars, which is awesome. I think you also have been the same. So I'm playing one or two more this weekend, which will be nice, and then heading down to Florida. I'm really excited to be with everyone at Southside and hopefully meet up with some Florida people who I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I will be there with the resurrected Lore Chronicles, apparently.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put out a new video soon. I don't know about what, but
is coming.
Yeah, not that she's been playing much, but maybe we can talk about our set champs experience. But before that, I'll be talking about my set champs experience this Thursday on the D&D podcast, which
excited to hear about that.
I still don't know what that name is any reference to. I'd never heard of anything called D&D in my life. And yeah, again, huge shout out Southside Gaming. Super excited to go there and go 0-5 and just have fun.
Not 0-5.
Nah, it's all good.
Spicy deck and climb to the top.
We'll see. But yeah, thank you so much for being the one to help educate me and the masses, because I'd be lost without you.
Thanks for having me on. When we get the video up, we'll put all of the Melee links and websites and Facebook pages in there as well. And as always, if you or your store are running events now for March and you want to get them featured on here, send a message our way to TFM and we'll make sure to include it next time. I know we've had a couple stores already reach out with March events, so the list keeps growing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
See ya.